What's good, everybody? Before I get into what today's video is on, I want to give you all an update. I know you have all been asking me any update, intel. What are your plans? I know it's been a long process, guys, but I promise you I've been working on figuring everything out. I think I'm actually getting some concrete information, and I'm slowly but surely being able to make my decision. Now, I can't speak on what it is yet. I will say it's good news, and when I can talk about it and when it is confirmed and I know it's happening, I will speak on it. But just bear with me. I'm sorry that my YouTube videos and my Twitch streams may be kind of sporadic. That's just because I really want to figure this out, guys, so I can just solely focus on this. But enough of that. In today's video, it is the best Call of Duty maps from Advanced Warfare on. My homie CJ, the editor who absolutely kills all my videos, gave me a tier maker list. I don't even know how many maps were on there. There was a bunch, and he wanted me to rank them. It was tough. But I think you guys will enjoy the video. Like, comment, subscribe. We are so close to the 10,000 sub mark. I can't believe the growth. Once we hit that, we'll be dropping a special video. And on top of that, I might have more information and be able to tell you guys what my plans are when we hit that. Hopefully, I got my fingers crossed. But for now, enjoy the video. Stay safe, man. Have a good one. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's get right into the best Call of Duty maps of all time. This time, though, I'm going to start it a little bit differently. Instead of going from top to bottom, I'm going to go bottom to top. And to be honest, you guys, it'll probably be clear which ones deserve to be in the dog shit tier, as it says. First, this is just an easy one. Piccadilly, Modern Warfare. I don't even need to say anything besides that. Definitely dog shit tier. Oh, boop. Throw that in there. Once again, Archive Peak, MW. Come on. I don't even need to touch on those. I'm putting Flak in the bad tier, though. And the thing is like, Flak Tower wasn't that bad. I mean, when you look at it, right, basically 3 lanes. You know, it was symmetrical map. It just, for me, it was too small. It felt way too compact, even with only 4v4. I just didn't like it. And I think I'm putting Flak Tower here because I just didn't like how the map was played on top of it. It's not just like the map design. The way that the map was played, I just didn't enjoy it at all. Oh, I missed one. Azir Cave, that's a dog shit tier as well. We'll just go ahead and slide that in there. I feel like I have to put Recovery in the bad tier. It was a okay S&D map in AW, in my opinion. I just didn't like the tunnel on the map. I didn't like the lower like bridge that was hanging off the map going towards, I think it was a bomb site. And we only played S&D on it. Y'all know how I feel about that. So I can't just stack everything. You know, I have to kind of spread it out. I think compared to the other maps, I got a slot Recovery in AW in the bad tier. I just have to. Also slotting Redwood in the bad tier. Sorry, some of these pictures are so tiny, and then like the font is so small, it's hard to even see. Redwood, though, in Black Ops 3, didn't like that map. Way too much going on. I mean, like, S&D actually played okay on it, but that was the only game mode we played Redwood on, and there's just too many things going on. Too many trees. I like the size of the map. I did, but too many trees, too many rocks. Just like, if they would have toned it down, you know what I'm saying, took like half the trees out, it probably would have been way better, in my opinion. I just wasn't fucking with it, not even a little bit. Scorch IW, yeah, that's in the bad tier as well. I actually this was a really fun map to play, but when you look at where the hard points were, you obviously played Hardpoint on Scorch. we played S&D as well. I don't know if we played S&D the whole year. It might have only been in the beginning. But once again, I just like it went from a 3-lane map if there was no wall running to a 4-lane map, and the lines of sight were iffy. I didn't really like how Hardpoint was played or S&D when it was in, even though it was fun like to play in 8s and stuff, right? But looking at it from a competitive aspect, guys, it is just missing. It is missing a lot that I think a lot of these other maps do have. Anything else in the bad tier? I think I slide Frost, and that's just for the sim. I actually think that map played well. I think it made sense. I just didn't like it for uplink. I just didn't. I just didn't enjoy playing. I didn't enjoy how it looked. That might be a shallow thing to say because like the map was actually okay. Like I think it probably deserves decent tier, but I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling Frost. I don't know. Londondoc's Hardpoint. Yeah, I'm a listen. This I'm being generous with because realistically it should be in the dog shit tier, but I don't think it's because of the map. I actually really like the map, but I think like the game itself just made it pure chaos. I mean, there were obviously some issues with where the hard points were at, but the map itself was solid. You know, if you could remove the doors off and actually have good hard points, I think that map would have been a really good map for competitive hardpoint. But it is what it is. That's, you know, I don't know how else I can judge it from what I played on, and that's why it's got to go in the bad tier. But realistically, it's probably going in the dog shit tier. But I think it had potential, so I'm just gonna slide that in to the bad tier instead of the dog shit tier. Oh, dude, this is a lot harder than I thought. Decent tier. Okay, we'll move up to decent tier. First one up is going to be USS Texas World War II. Obviously, guys, we only played Search and Destroy on this map, but I liked it. I mean, I like the look of it. Simple 3-lane map. Not too much going on besides maybe inside bottom mid. But the bomb sites were placed fairly well. The map played really well. I thought it was very strategic. And it was more of a you played it in a more methodical way, I guess you could say. So I liked it. I don't think it has enough to be great tier, or it definitely doesn't have enough to be god tier, but we'll give it decent tier. We will give it decent tier. I think the same with Stronghold. Black Ops 3 deserves to be decent tier. We played Hardpoint S&D on this map. The map itself, once again, played pretty well. I didn't really like the cosmetics on it too much. I didn't really like the bunker area or the outskirts. I think it was called Satellite, like that part of the map, but it played pretty well. S&D was pretty average on that map. I think that's also another one of the reasons why I have it in decent tier and no higher. But I think when you compare it to the rest of the maps, you have to put it in a higher tier than those. 222. Let's see, what do we have next? Wow, I just didn't see this. Payload Black Ops 4. Yeah, Payload goes in the decent tier. You know, Payload was a big map. You obviously only played S&D on it, but I really like how it played out because you could use a lot of different strategies and be successful in it. Also, mostly a 3-lane map, but I love the lanes, like the side lanes that they had, like B tunnel on the outskirts. You could get from one side of the map to the other fairly quick. Like there were good routes to take, but you could also cater your strategy towards a certain bomb site, or you could wrap to each bomb site fairly easily. It wasn't like one bomb site was overpowered. I felt like both of them were good in their own right. Double right. I don't know why I just said right, but I enjoyed it. Besides, the one thing that I didn't like was just like, even though I get it, and you didn't really get into many situations where you were in either side spawn, I didn't like the offense and defense spawns, like just those areas of the map. But overall, I think it was a good S&D map. I do. think it definitely deserves decent tier. So we're gonna go ahead and give it decent tier. Are there any others that deserve decent tier? Oh shit, there's another MW. No, Gunrunner was. I'm gonna give Gunrunner a decent tier for the same reasons of Docks, but I do think Gunrunner was a better map. It was a little bit more spacious. The hard points for the most part were good. Obviously, the game itself didn't help the map, but I think you got to give it its credit to at least be in the decent tier. I mean, I think because we played Hardpoint and Dom on this map, and it's hard to give a really good opinion of Dom on this map because it's just Dom. But I think this was probably the best Hardpoint map in MW. I do. And I think if the game was a little different, this Hardpoint map could have been great tier or even potentially God tier, to be honest with you. So, but once again, is what it is. Got to put in these tier. I do think it was a better map than London. Oh my gosh. Than Hackney Yard. I just said Londondocs. I'm smart. He also deserves a spot in the decent tier list, guys. It played actually really nicely in Hardpoint, and all three game modes really in Hardpoint, S&D, and Control. The bottom mid aspect of it was not my favorite, but I really liked how balanced it was. You know, everything felt smooth when you were playing that map. It was a lot of getting control of, you know, your team's base and then pushing out, and you know, you were able to play the map a lot of different ways depending on the game mode, and I just enjoyed it. It was also fast paced. You know, there was a lot of engagements on it compared to some of the other maps in Black Ops 4, which also made it more entertaining to me at least. But once again, there's some really good maps. I just don't know if I could put it in the great tier. Maybe I could. Maybe I'll go back to frequency. I don't think I could. Next up, we are going to add Arden's Forest to the decent tier. I feel like I'm saying the same thing for a lot of these, but it's because they're all pretty similar. Obviously, a 3-lane map. You can get from one side to the other fairly quickly from the routes that you can take. We played CTF, S&D, and Hardpoint on this map, and I think it was a really good Hardpoint map. I think it was a really good S&D map. CTF, I mean, it's CTF. It was there. It was super one-sided on CTF. That's the only negative about that. But I also just think there was just too much. You know, too many trees in random spots, random objects. You know, it wasn't my cup of tea. But it was a solid map. So I mean, it deserves decent. It deserves decent. Oh wow, Seaside. Seaside actually deserves bad tier. I don't even need to speak on Seaside. Seaside the map felt way too long. Didn't like the lines of sight really. Didn't like the hills. Didn't like the control points. Didn't like barrel. I mean, honestly, I could have maybe put that in dog shit tier, but we'll keep it bad tier. Not a fan of that map. Also gonna add Breakout from IW into the decent tier. Once again, it had the basics right. 3-lane map. You played S&D and Hardpoint. No uplink, obviously. And the maps, the flow of the maps was pretty good. It was. I just don't like the look of it. It was very big, but I do think that it did play well. There was just, once again, I think a little bit too many things going on in the map, especially on some of the hills. There was a lot of objects stacked up, and if they would have cut down on it, I think this map would have been better. But decent tier is not bad. I mean, you know, if you're Breakout, you'll take decent tier from me, I think, in my opinion. Biolab AW, guys, definitely deserves a spot in the decent tier. Hunted deserves a spot on the decent tier. We only played this in S&D, guys, but I thought it was actually a pretty fun S&D map. It was a very big S&D map, that's for sure. I liked the route that they took. I mean, once again, it was, I guess technically you could say it was more than a 3-lane map, but basically it was a 3-lane map. I actually really liked the waterfall area and being able to go underwater. It played really well. It looked cool. I enjoyed it. You know, you could have a lot of different ways that your team played it. Obviously, it was only an S&D, guys, but I enjoyed it. Okay, anyone, what else? Gibraltar World War II, also decent tier. And this actually might be biased because TK, we were really good at Gibraltar Hardpoint, but it made sense in my opinion. Once again, I kind of like the way they did everything with the lanes, you know, with the cave side. Obviously you have mid map, and then you have the lower bridge side, and it was good sized. I mean, it was a good sized map. It made sense. It played super smooth. The flow of the game was really nice on it. I mean, I guess the only real negative I would say is like the cave was really dark, or, you know, how you would break some of the hills wasn't the most methodical way, but I think that also is a factor of the game itself. We'll also slot in Breach, Evac. Is there any others from Black Ops 3? No, those are the only, and Fringe, but no, I think Fringe is level up. Breach and Evac, honestly, both solid maps. I think the wall running hurt both of those maps stock, in my opinion. To me, it didn't really like how they looked. Evac was a little confusing for like the casual player. You know, there was just so many, you could wall run under the map. Actually, I kind of want to put Evac bad tier, but I mean, the map would have been so good if there wasn't like the bottom mid drop and you couldn't wall run everywhere, because it played good. It played good, but we're just gonna slot it into a decent tier. Now, also Gridlock Black Ops 4, we're gonna slide that in. I keep finding maps that like I can't tell what they are at first. And Retaliation IW. Are there any other ones? So moving on to the great tier, I'm gonna have Saint Marie in World War II. I actually love this map. It played great for SND and Hardpoint in my opinion. Super standard 3-lane map, pretty simple. You know, obviously top mid was a huge power position to be in on both Hardpoint and SND. Lines of sight were really good. Once again, I enjoyed the cosmetics of the map. I really did. The game flow was nice on it too, in both SND and Hardpoint. And it's just like, they didn't overdo it. You know, they made it pretty simple. Obviously, they could have maybe removed a couple of the objects, but they made it pretty simple. And I think it deserves a spot at the great tier. I really do. What else? Anything else great tier? I think we got to put Throwback from IW in the great tier. I think we put Detroit as well in the great tier. This is tough. Are all of the rest of these God tier? Oh, I don't know. I think they are. Retreat. Oh, dude, this is tough. Well, we only played Comeback Uplink. Do I put all the rest of these in great tier or in God tier? Okay, I got to do it this way for the final one. I have to. So Solar was a God tier map. I will say that. I think Dr. Disrespect actually made this map, guys. Loved it. Once again, its biggest attributes, super simple map. 3 lanes. We played Hardpoint, SND. I think we played Uplink actually in the beginning of the game on it and then got removed. But it made sense. I liked, this is what I think Seaside wanted to be. It's a very long map, a long and narrow map. You obviously had the top side and the lower garage side of the map, and then on the both outskirts they were pretty even. The lines of sight were done really well in my opinion. There wasn't way too many random ass objects blocking line of sight or anything like that. I enjoyed the cosmetics, and it honestly played phenomenally in Hardpoint and SND. We did play SND on a no uplink, besides in the beginning. But I thought it played phenomenal. I think Fringe, Retreat. Oh my God. People are going to get on me. They're going to be like, yeah, you're biased towards the AW. I think both of those deserve to be in the God tier as well. Fringe. I mean, I don't really need to speak on Fringe. I think everyone enjoyed Fringe. This is obviously, guys, this is not counting the older CODs, by the way, in case you haven't noticed yet. You know, this is starting from what, Black Ops, or from AW. So there's no raids, there's no standoffs, yada, 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 Yemen, whatever. But like I said, I don't really think I need to speak on Fringe. I mean, it was a great map for CTF, Hardpoint, and S&D. It was big, had 3 lanes, you know, not too much going on. You could get into each lane fairly quickly. And the wall running, especially in Black Ops 3, wasn't that absurd. It really wasn't. You know, the lines of sight, once again, were really good, in my opinion. I know I've been saying that a lot, but this is my tier maker list. So, are those the only ones? Yeah, I think I put Hacienda in the great tier. Loved Hacienda for S&D and Hardpoint. I thought it played really well. I love the look of it. Another, I guess it technically had more than 3 lanes, but you had, you know, your mid, both bases. You had boat side and mansion side. Both outskirts were cool. The only thing that I didn't like was the water. The water on the right side of the map. Well, if you're looking at this picture, but I really enjoyed playing that. Arsenal, also great tier in my opinion. You know, I can't really say anything bad about it. Hardpoint played really well, and even S&D for the most part played pretty well. I loved how you had the vent and the I think it was like blue window. I love how those were the routes to interchange lanes, whether you want to go from one side of the map to mid, or you know, you can get across both outskirts of the map fairly quickly. And I like the routes that they took, whether it was vent or from blue window, you know. And it was a very, I don't want to say fast-paced map, but where the hills were at, where the bomb sites were at, you got into a lot of action, but it played very smoothly. I think I have to add Comeback from AW as great tier. I would love to put a God tier, but we only played uplink on it. But the map was so good. It was unbelievably fun to play. It also made sense from a competitive aspect. There may have been one too many objects on the map, just like randomly, sporadically placed out. But I liked it. I liked it for the most part. And then last but not least, and this might be a hot take, I'm putting Londondoc's Hardpoint, guys. God tier. Oh, not counting CTF though. CTF in World War II was okay. S&D and Hardpoint though, I thought it was great. Loved the look of it. Cosmetically, it was beautiful. Obviously, it was. Would you call it symmetrical? I don't know. I mean, guys, I love the maps where there's 2 clear bases. Like this, like if you were gonna ask me, like if I was gonna build a map where there's 2 clear bases, a 3-lane map for the most part. You know, you're not having like 6 lanes. Pretty basic, pretty standard, not too much going on. It looks good, and the game flow plays well. And I think London Hardpoint was that to a T. Obviously, I know it's hard when you are like considering how the map was played, because it's not necessarily the map, but I think you have to take that into account. But Londondoc, I think, is a really underrated map, and one I enjoyed a lot. But that's it, guys. That is my best Call of Duty maps from AW on tier list. Once again, thank you to the homie CJ, my editor, for putting this together for me. I'm a little on the fence about it, I'll be honest. That's a lot of maps. I wasn't expecting, guys, this many. And it's really hard, besides like the clear-cut obvious ones near the bottom, to like spread them out, you know. But like, I don't want to not have any in the God tier, you know what I mean? Like, I think Solar and Fringe, like, for sure God tier. But it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, to like and subscribe. Let me know what videos you guys want to see in the future. Let me know what you think of my tier maker list. Is it godlike? Is it dog shit? Is it in between? What would you have swapped out if you would have? Or, you know, am I pretty spot on in your opinion? Let me know. Have a good one, and I will see you guys in the next one.